As you rest right now, wherever you're listening, perhaps you can let yourself notice the sensation of the air around you, the subtle shift of the sounds in your environment. And just imagine for a moment that you're sitting beside a quietly flowing river. The surface is glimmering in its own way, reflecting the light of the world around it. And as you allow your thoughts to drift, just like leaves upon that water, you may begin to turn your attention inwards in just a way that feels right for you. And as the river carries those leaves, some bobbing and others gliding faster, I wonder what it's like to notice how your breath synchronizes with the rhythm of the gentle currents. And sometimes the mind finds it easier to float for a while, watching as certain thoughts grow distant, less important, just like leaves that move further downstream. And you might allow your awareness to settle as the water deepens and cools, enveloping your senses in tranquility. And perhaps you can notice a growing stillness, as if every breath is another ripple making its way softly to the riverbank. And some leaves are thicker, clinging at first, like worries about what others are thinking. Yet in this calm, the river doesn't struggle. It simply welcomes every leaf and every current, recognizing each has its own pace and its own place. And perhaps as you observe, you start to see how the river never asks the leaves for permission to be itself. It just flows endlessly on its own. And just consider for a moment the way that riverbanks always grow lush and green, not because the leaves judge where to settle, but because nature allows every part of this process its place. Isn't it interesting how people can sometimes carry the weight of others' opinions as though those thoughts had to determine the flow of their own river? You may have noticed at times how letting outside voices just float by gives more space for your own reflections, for your own thoughts to shine beneath the surface. And every so often, there's a memory of someone appearing at the river's edge, tossing in a stone, perhaps a word, a look, or a fleeting judgment. For a moment the surface ripples, but always the water returns to stillness, the stone itself settling quietly into the riverbed. It can be curious, how those ripples soon dissolve, and the river takes back its steady rhythm. And perhaps you can imagine an old tree whose roots drink the water, holding on to the bank through many seasons. It's seen many stones and leaves, and yet it stands, unmoved, continually growing. And maybe some part of you already understands how to stand firm in the current of other people's opinions, drawing nourishment only from what truly helps you thrive. And you might even recall a time when you trusted yourself more than others, savoring the freedom that grew from this quiet confidence, and noticing now how that feeling gently brushes the present moment. And if you look even deeper, you notice the river doesn't mind being watched. It carries on fulfilling its purpose regardless. And just consider for a moment, what would it be like to flow more freely, valuing your uniqueness, even as others observe and pass by. Imagine allowing the warmth of sunlight on the river, or perhaps on your skin, to represent acceptance, a kind of effortless permission to be your authentic self, with no need to perform or to please. And what if, without needing to force anything, you simply let old worries float further and further downstream, becoming fainter, turning into nourishment for distant lands you never have to visit? And sometimes, simply by shifting your attention inwards, you can discover the space to invite your own voice, your own values, allowing them to ring clearer and truer than ever before. And maybe now you even realize how your own well-being matters more than the unpredictable drift of other people's fleeting evaluations. After all, a river can be appreciated for its clarity or its hidden depths, or the way it carves its own path without any justification. And now as you listen, you may notice your awareness returning a little at a time, as if you're stepping gently from the soft riverbank back onto familiar ground. You can begin to notice your arms and legs, the gentle presence of your body within the room around you, the way the air feels as you draw it in fuller, feeling more energized with each breath. Perhaps each small movement reconnects you with the present moment, the sensation in your feet, the clarity of the sounds nearby. And you can allow your eyes to blink open whenever you're ready, bringing with you a quiet certainty about your own direction and a calm sense of readiness for the rest of your day. And in the days ahead, you may find yourself caring less about others' opinions and noticing your own self-trust grow naturally. And just like a river, you flow in a way that's true to your nature, allowing freedom and ease wherever you go. Thank you for spending this time with me today. You've just made a powerful step towards greater self-acceptance. And remember, you can revisit this session whenever you wish. And until next time, goodbye and good mental health.